In this video, let's take a look at how to handle a new column added in one of the sheets when we are doing the union, and also when a column is removed from one of the sheets. These are simple scenarios from a union perspective, but it's good for newcomers to understand what's happening step by step. So the data set is very similar. The changes I have done are in the new data set 3. We have a new column called grade, which is highlighted here, just a numerical grade for each of the employees, which did not exist here. Yeah, and then in the data set 4, I have removed this column called gender. If you focus here, after basically before join date, after age, there is gender, which is here, but it is not here. Yeah, so let's understand how Tableau handles this, and then later on see how we can develop a validation report to understand how this is done. So let's go to Tableau. So here is the starting point where we have the data set with just one row. So let's do a quick preview of data set 3. So now we can see this grade has indeed come in. So now let's add this. So you can notice how many columns are there. As of now, you cannot, Tableau reports the number of rows, but it does not really report the number of columns. It would have been useful to know this. The new tool from Tableau, which is used for data preparation, which is the work that we are doing, actually lists the number of fields as well as number of other tools like Alteryx also do that, but Tableau does not do that. So let's bring this in the usual way. So now we got 15 rows and we can see that grade got added apart from the 2 new columns that are added by Tableau sheet and table name. So in grade, you can see in the new data, if I expand this, new data 3 grade has a value. In the previous ones, it has this null. So this is an indication that this column did not exist in this, it got added here. That's the visual indication that we get. But this is just by inspecting the data in the preview. There is nothing else to know what column got added in one of the sheets. So now let's jump into our validation report and see how we can repeat it one more time. So here is the thing, and then we look at the sheet. Let's add the total column here. So now we want to add this grade column to see which values are null and what are the other values in what sheets, right? So I'm just going to double click on this. So now Tableau added a sum of grade here in this case, and then it also has the number of records. Yeah, so it is telling us new data has 5 records here and the grade is summing up to 17, whereas here it is nothing. So this is one visual indication. Yeah, so to know that actually none of the values actually came in this. So this is one easy way to validate what is going on. Yeah, so why did I double click rather than drag and drop? So if I go back and try to drag and drop here into this, it generates something else. It does not really give us what we want. So Tableau behaves in a strange way when you want to add a second number to the table. The easiest way to work around this is to double click. So as a new person, this is the best way to do this. So now our validation report is ready. So let's call it validation report for new column. So now let's look at the deleted column. What happens? So let's go back to the data source. So here now, before we proceed further, let's understand how many things are in this union. How do we know that? Just visually looking at this is not helpful. So right click, we don't really find any useful options. There's edit union. So let's click on this. So this shows you which tables are in the union. Yeah, this is the union configuration dialog, which we will come back very often. Yeah, so we can see there is new data 3, there is V1 rows. So now what we can do is we can drag and drop this at the here. Yeah, so now this is added this. You can see at the bottom the number is getting updated. I can apply. The nice thing is while I'm in this dialog itself, without dismissing, I can see the change that has happened. But we want to understand the effect on gender, which is not really visible here. So we can move this. So we can see gender has values for some of them, not for some. So so look at the sheet column where it is number 3, there is value here, whereas in the case of new data 4, there is null. So that's how we got to know, or we get to know this is actually, this column is deleted. So now let's go and develop a validation report for this. So let's do a duplicate of this. easiest way to do this is duplicate as a cross tab. Cross tab is Tableau's terminology for table. So we just want to duplicate this table. The beautiful thing about this is this works when you have a chart also. So you can either simply duplicate or duplicate as a cross tab. Given that we have a table, duplicate will work. So this is new column. So now we want to put gender. So let's remove this one. Yeah, so we got back to the original thing. So let's double click on the gender. So now you can see there is null that is coming here. If you really want to make it very visible, you can bring the order here and you can see what are the values here. So gender has null. Yeah, so this is one of the nice ways to look at which files or which sheets have a removed column. Yeah, so those are the two scenarios we handled here. In the next one, let's handle the case of renaming a column.